Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And this week we are spending a little extra time and we are focusing in the world of LGBTQ seniors and travel. And we're back with Christopher MacLellan. How are you again?
Matt, I tell you, twice in 1 week. This is like awesome.
This is amazing. And you and I have been wanting to do this for a while, but it's kind of nice because I think it allowed us to kind of formulate our thoughts and kind of let things come together, and including how things continue to change in the marketplace. But it's all about these newfound baby boomers and the LGBT side looking for travel,
Yeah, kind of like me.
which is probably why what motivated you for this.
Well,
And
yeah,
yeah,
because travel has really been a passion of mine while in the midst of being involved in caregiving. And I've always, I've done some group cruises with LGBT seniors, and I have this aging Gayfully brand and cruising polar bear brand. And people keep asking, when are you going to do another cruise? When are you going to do another cruise? And I
yeah,
said, well, maybe sooner than you think, because it was one of the cool things that's happened here recently. I think that was last year. I finished a master's program at the University of Barcelona
yeah,
School of Tourism, and it was a course on LGBT travel.
yeah.
What are the nuances? And there are some nuances for especially seniors as we travel, and I think that's really what's going to help me spearhead as I transition out of the caregiving conversation into travel, but still kind of talking about caregiving because we're all going to be caring for each other in one way or another. I just
Yep.
want to do it by travel now.
Well, it's interesting. I spoke with someone else, and even the concept of caregiving or has kind of touched into the world of travel with seniors because this one tour operator is going to focus on bringing a doctor along on the tour with a group of like say 10. And it wasn't a doc, it was a doctor that would be able to understand all of their needs and requirements for medications and just kind of anything that might come up so that he was fully versed in advance and able to kind of check up on them during the course of their trip.
And that is a fabulous idea. And because one of the many concerns that I hear from LGBT seniors is the health concerns about
Yeah.
what happens if something happens to me while I'm on a cruise. And while all major cruise lines, all cruise lines have medical help aboard ship, it's
Yeah.
nice to know when you're in a group that you've got somebody within that group that you can go to that understands the issue at hand. But also, there's that tangible thing that goes on about, the worry while you're on a cruise or on a trip. What happens if
Yeah.
something happens to me? I get sick, and those are some of the things that we want to talk about before you travel. There's some things that you can put in place. One easy thing is just having a list of your medications
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
in your wallet or in your travel portfolio. We often don't think about these things when we're in the midst of, oh, I'm going on this transatlantic cruise.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. There's 30 people, but the reality of life is emergencies happen and they're unplanned.
Yeah.
and and there's some things that we can do to help alleviate that. And having just your medication list, any previous health issues that you've had, having that readily available and letting your travel companion or as I say in the travel business, the Pied Piper of the group,
Yeah.
letting them know where that critical information is, so that when an emergency does happen, then that person can advocate for you right on the spot because they know where your information is.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting, and it's what's what I've heard you touch on a few times during these last few minutes is cruises, and I understand that cruise travel is actually probably one of the most popular with senior travel.
It is and for a number of reasons. It's economical.
Yeah.
Uh, Everything's pretty much done for you while you're on the cruise, and but it also, I think one of the other big appeals for cruises is it helps combat isolation
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because you're within a group, and in most cases you're in a group. Now there's people that travel solo, or they travel just with their spouse or partner. But cruises, you've got tons of people in and around you. You're going to be around people.
Yeah.
Um, and you can, of course, you can make the choice of who you want to be around and who you don't want to be around. But it's again, it's another one of those tangible items that especially as we age, and if we're aging solo, isolation is one of the main problems as we age, that we feel entrapped in our own environment, and not having any human contact is detrimental to our all components of our health. And that's, I think, one of the exciting things about a cruise is you get to go and meet a variety of people and feel safe, because that's another main concern for LGBT seniors is to feel safe. Well, it's a concern for everybody in one sense, but especially for LGBT seniors who have kind of grown out of an environment that maybe wasn't as inclusive as we've experienced in our later years here.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's very interesting. It's but you also touched on and we bring up a lot. It seems like the concept of solo travel. I think that's probably it's not something I thought of. Every time I see groups together, you see everyone happily together. You're assuming a lot of them are couples, elderly gay couples that are out. But it's a really good point that a lot of folks are single. They're looking for whether it's a cruise or any type of group travel, but they're looking for that kind of camaraderie and being together with other like-minded individuals on their trips.
right. And being involved in senior care on the social service side, and then as an advocate in the caregiving space,
Yeah.
isolation comes up all the time. And isolation happens for a variety of reasons. It could be, on the more tragic side, the loss of your spouse or partner. Or it could be that your family has disowned you because you've come out as a gay senior or a lesbian.
Yeah.
And those years of baggage, no pun intended, when we're going on a trip, we can often take that with us.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think travel does for everybody is it opens us all up to new experiences.
Yeah.
It opens us up to new people, and it brings us out of that cocoon, and it allows people to, those who are either introverts or extroverts, they find their place, so that as they're going solo,
Yeah.
they can connect with like-minded people
Yeah.
and feel like they're a part of something. And that's kind of been my vision with aging gayfully, and the little boutique travel company that I have, TLO Travel and Tours, which is named after my my deceased partner, Richard. Uh, you find those like-minded people who understand the journey and want to go on these journeys with you.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. It's not just that. Also, some of these some of these groups are quite varied in age. And so sometimes they'll range from, as low as 30s and but 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And that kind of mixing of age groups, I think I've taken notice that it's a great opportunity for folks when they're sharing coming out stories together
Oh, very
even
much so.
opportunities for mentorship. There's all sorts of opportunities that seem to arise from this.
The intergenerational conversations are just spectacular.
Yeah.
And when you can tap into somebody's experience, whether they're 90 years old
Mm,
or 40 years old,
yeah.
we all have a story to share.
Yeah.
And I think I said this earlier when our last visit, it's through story sharing where diversity meets the road to collaborate on a common cause.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate through my career that um, and I've had the ability to talk to people on both sides of the age bracket. In fact, I got a really good friend here in Fort Lauderdale that just celebrated his 90th birthday.
Wow.
And
Wow.
what did he want to do on his 90th birthday? He wanted to go to Disney World.
Wow.
He had never been. So that was his way of celebrating his 90th birthday. He didn't need to do anything other than just be there. So we had a 90-year-old, an 82-year-old, a 67-year-old, and a
Yeah.
45-year-old in our group that went,
Yeah.
and we all had different experiences. And I think that's really what travel comes down to,
Mhm.
whether it's a cruise or a bus trip
Yeah.
or just sharing that experience, that destination experience
Yeah.
with another person, just helps build that camaraderie. And as I continue to work and build through aging gayfully, that's kind of where I want to take the brand,
Yeah.
is to have that camaraderie, that safety, that you know that you could be there with
Yeah.
somebody and not feel alone.
Yeah. I think you're very much onto something here. And one thing that comes to mind, I've heard this from others also, is just the concept of limited mobility. And I know cruises kind of help a lot with that. But even when somebody's, when a group is running around, we won't go as extreme as Machu Picchu, but when they're running around someplace,
Right.
it just seems like limited mobility when is also something that just in senior travel has to be taken into consideration as well.
It does have to be taken into consideration, and there's a fantastic program that I have come across as I've dabbled in the travel business, called Special Needs at Sea.
Yeah.
You can get just about any type of durable medical goods uh, that you need in order to make your trip comfortable.
Yeah.
But then that's on the travel side. But one of the if I could be so bold and say one of the problems that I see as a senior traveler is, and I had this example. Of course, we were in Milan together, but
Yeah.
the hotels
Mm.
who do not have grab bars in their showers or in their bathtubs,
Yeah.
or don't have grab bars even in their bathrooms, because the majority of falls, and that is a fear that everybody has,
Mhm.
but especially in a bathroom. Uh, I take notice of that. I see that. Now, would I have seen that when I was 40?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably not, but I see it now that I'm in my 60s and I've been involved in senior care for
Yeah.
15, 20 years, that those little intangible items that travel vendors really should pay attention to, because that's what's going to get repeat business.
Yeah.
And while my background's in social work, I and I'm willing to give just about everything away myself. But as I look at major travel vendors, those are some of the nuances.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having a grab bar. Here's another tip. Um, and this is one of those things that really frustrates me. I have to, because I've just gotten these here recently myself. They're hearing aids.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, I can't wear hearing aids and a headset at the same time. But how many times have you called customer service, or you've gone to the front desk at a hotel or the airline,
Mhm.
and the customer service person probably is fantastic at their job, is not sensitive
Yeah. Yeah.
to the hearing issues that people could have.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and instead of being frustrated when somebody asks you, well, can you repeat that again? Can it take notice that there's a pretty good chance that that person has a hearing issue, and also recognize that most people that have a hearing issue who haven't had it treated
Yeah.
don't believe they have a hearing issue. And so there's a lot of nuances that goes on when communicating with these folks, because there's frustration on both sides. But if the customer service person has been trained properly to recognize, then you can combat a lot of issues up front. I've gotten to the point now to where if I'm having trouble with a customer service person and they're standing right in front of me, I just kind of I kind of point and said, point to my hearing, say, I'm having a little trouble today. So these
Yeah,
aren't working as well as I like
yeah,
them to work. Could you speak up just a little bit? And
yeah,
we end up turning what could be a negative situation into just something that's kind of funny, and
yeah.
but it kind of gets the job done. But I've come across so many customer service folks who are well intentioned, but they don't recognize
Mhm.
that that hearing is
Yeah,
a major issue as it relates to dealing with interacting with seniors.
yeah, interesting. No, just overall going back with aging gayfully and how all this kind of pulls together. Not only are you kind of have this whole background where you're a podcaster and a blogger and so forth,
Right.
but it's that's kind of a lot of what you're going to be doing in the near future with aging gayfully, I believe, as well, right? Kind of bringing some of the stories and podcasting out there to
Bring
light.
bring some of the stories and talking from a perspective of everybody wants to age gayfully.
Yeah,
We want to be able to be out in the world, be citizens of the world. We want to look at what people are doing to make themselves sustainable. And I know that's a big word in the travel industry right now, but how do we make ourselves sustainable in the second chapter of our life?
yeah,
And I think the aging gayfully, while it's a play on words, even though I identify as gay, I had I had a couple of people say to me, "What, aging gayfully? Why are you asking me if I'm aging gayfully? I'm not gay." And I said, "Goodness, I'm not asking you. If I was asking you what your orientation is, that would be rude. I'm asking you, how are you aging gayfully? What are you doing to make yourself happy,
yeah,
prosperous
yeah,
in the second part of your life?" He said, because that whole word gay meant something different in
yeah.
the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And then when I talked to when then you see that light bulb going off in
Mm-hmm.
somebody's head. Oh yeah, I get it. I get it. And this is really the second chapter of my life. I've been trying to position myself to get into, really dig into the Aging Gayfully brand, and
Yeah,
and we're
yeah,
just about there to really turn the corner and have some more travel events
yeah.
and get out and be with people like Matt, and get the message out, because I'm on a mission to let people know
Mm,
that aging gayfully is everybody's right, no matter if you're gay or straight.
yeah,
Aging gayfully is almost like a justice issue.
yeah,
We all, as we age, should be held uh, in esteem and be there, because
yeah,
we've been the trailblazers
yeah, yeah.
for every generation.
And you've put in the work.
And you put in the work. It's kind of like, and I know our community will relate to this, but it's
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Stonewall generation.
yeah, yeah,
Those folks now. Richard was a part of the Stonewall generation. And we
yeah.
never want those stories to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I think that's why we continue on as in our work, and the work that you do, and so many people across the spectrum in our community, is that we want to keep those stories alive,
yeah, yeah,
because those folks are the trailblazers.
yeah. I hear you. Well put. I'm looking forward to putting all this together into a larger, bigger story about LGBT senior travel. And
Well, I think we're going to do that. I think we should do an I Love Gay cruise.
yeah, it's very true too. We have lots to
Well,
talk about here,
that
lots to coordinate.
lot to coordinate here. But
Yeah,
I'm just so grateful to be able to talk to somebody like you, who I connect with on a number of levels, but that gets it.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm
That
looking
gets
forward.
it.
Said I'm looking forward to all this and seeing where you and I both take these things. So looking forward to catching you in the real world again soon too.
I think it's going to happen in a couple of months.
Yeah,
So
I think so too.
we'll
But
do a
thanks so much.
live event. We'll do a live event somewhere. So
But thanks so much for being here with me, and we'll chat
you're the
soon.
best, Matt. Thank you.